and welcome to yet another edition of Football Planet. This show continues to bring to you football's best told stories with an African interest that defines how beautiful the game is. My name is Juliet Bewa. So coming up on this show, with some days to the all-important CAF Congress in Ethiopia to elect a new president, we shift focus to some football politics. CAF President Issa Hayatou has been talking. Also on this show, we get the latest update from the Africa Under-20 Championship ongoing in Zambia. There is plenty action here as we bring you all that you missed out in the weekend football, including the search for a new Ghana coach. We start off the show with that all-important interview. CAF President Issa Hayatou faces a stiff challenge as he has to the polls to be re-elected. So in this interview, he placed down the age question while writing off his opponent as well as touting his credentials.
I
am 70 years. Blatter was 79 before he was suspended. João Haviland left FIFA at 84. I don't know why Africans are excited about seeing me go. I started early and became president at 41. And the fact that I am the head of the federation, if it was left to me, I would have already left. However, CAF has given me every opportunity. They gave me overwhelming support and asked me to stay because they see how African football is growing, how African football has continued to increase in terms of finances, technical ability, tactical ability, on any level you want. Africans love criticizing their brothers. I have not demonstrated the desire to stay. The African federations have pushed me to stay and to rest them because on the pitch there are things happening that are pushing African football toward the summit. It doesn't worry me. Ahmad's candidacy or whoever doesn't worry me because CAF is a resource that belongs to everyone. If ever I'm not elected CAF president, I will go home to mine. I won't be unemployed in Cameroon. I'll have something to do. People shouldn't imagine that this is my entire life. I will not just overlay my life with the level of CAF. It's completely normal that if Ahmad wins, I will applaud him. If he wants me to help him, I'll even help him as an advisor. But people must not think that it will affect me beyond that. No.
So from that exclusive interview, we go to Zambia, where the semi-finals of the Africa Under-20 Championship takes place this week. So host Zambia have done great so far and end a sport against South Africa, while Senegal takes on Guinea. So we have the latest on that from Zambia. We're speaking to a sports journalist, Usha Komoshiga. Usha, thanks so much for joining me here on Football Planet. Let's first talk about the level of play at the tournament.
I am very pleased. We've seen a lot of attacking football. You see that these, yes, they are youngsters, but they're showing some maturity, in the way that they're playing. I'm very pleased, and I think this is why Africa has been able to do well at the underage tournaments in the past 5 years. I mean, we have a scenario where Nigeria won the World Cup twice. If you remember in Dubai in 2013, then you have Mali. Mali did well as well. I think they're under-17 World Cup champions. So it's not a secret really that the quality comes from the continental tournament before you see it at the World Cup. So I'm very impressed, and it's good also to see some, I should say, new faces, because Sudan coming here to the tournament and having Nigeria, that was a very big statement, especially for Eastern Africa, because, it's very rare also for the CAF countries continental tournament. So to see Sudan here, was really a good one.
The semi-final is sure going to be a nail-biting one this week.
Zambia is playing South Africa. This is the Southern Africa derby. It is a repeat of, the two countries have played two friendlies in the last 2 months. And on both occasions, Zambia beat South Africa 2-1. So it's going to be a quality game with goals as well because both teams are attacking. And then in Senegal versus Guinea, we have a West African derby. Guinea-Conakry, that is, people know them for their fancy football. They're called the Brazilians, not for nothing. We've seen them play and execute this at this tournament. And I think that they deserve to be respected. And against Senegal know that anything can happen against Guinea, but we're really going to see goals and goals in these semi-finals.
So now time to do some vacancy news as Ghana goes to the market in search of a new coach. So a team led by its FA president, Kwesi Nyantakyi, are hunting over 70 applicants so far for a name to replace Avram Grant, who left in February. We have Director of Communications at the Ghana Football Association, Ibrahim Sani Dara, to speak to us. Sani, thanks so much for joining me here on Football Planet. The search is already underway, we understand. What are the criteria the Federation is looking at?
The search has begun. The committee held its first meeting on Friday. And they set a deadline of Friday, this coming Friday, as the deadline for those interested to submit their application. The first criteria in consideration is competence. Competence will stand or above any other consideration. The person should be able to coach the team. Nobody would ask what the coach is, who the coach, how the coach is, where he is from. At the end of the day, they would ask what was the result. 2, to be able to work under difficult conditions in Africa. Fact remains that a lot of foreign coaches come to Africa expecting that the standards of Africa, for instance, pitches, organization, all of these things would be the same as in Europe, would not be the same. And then 3, if he is a foreigner, to be stationed in Ghana. We don't want a situation where a coach would come and then every now and then would want to leave and go back to Europe or wherever it is under the guise of monitoring players abroad.
But after going through all the process, how soon will the Federation name a coach?
We've not set a deadline. The reason being that we might also be headhunting for the position. So it will not be prudent to set deadlines for now. So the committee will decide if the applications received will meet the standards required. If it doesn't meet the standards required, then they will perhaps also take the possibility of headhunting. But the headhunting could also be an initial approach because we realize that there might be coaches who might be interested in coaching Ghana. But because they are currently tied perhaps maybe to clubs or national teams, if they think their CVs, it could be the position or the place where they could be sacked from their jobs. So if we see that we want a coach from that light, I think we could make background talks with the coach and then the person could be brought on board.
So from one vacant position hand to another, as Spanish giants Barcelona are searching for a new man to head the team at the Catalan side. So President Josep Maria Bartomeu says the search for Luis Enrique's replacement will be undertaken with discretion. So we have Spanish football journalist who works with Dario Sports and Daily Mirror, Rick Sharma, to talk to us about this particular development. Thanks for joining us here. Any big names popped up yet with the search?
There are 4 main contenders for the role. One is Jorge Sampaoli. He's the current Sevilla manager. He's the fans' favourite, and in all the polls that I've seen, he's finished top by a mile. He's had a great season with Sevilla. They're fighting for the title, which is incredible, really, when you consider how little money they have and the squad they have compared to Barcelona and Real Madrid. And then they have Ernesto Valverde, the Athletic Bilbao manager. He's probably the favourite for the role in terms of betting. He's a safe pair of hands. He used to play for the club. Although I have some doubts whether he can adapt to Barcelona's style of play, considering he's been Athletic for a few years and they play a very different, more defensive style. Juan Carlos Unzue, who's Luis Enrique's current assistant manager at Barcelona. Luis Enrique, if he could choose the next manager, he would choose Nzui to continue his work. Nzui is very good tactically. He does a lot of work with the team on that front, and he would love the chance to take over.
But finally, the Champions League run of 16 takes place on Wednesday, and 4-0 loss to PSG. Is a comeback possible for Barcelona?
I think they can do it. I'm not saying they will do it, but they definitely can. They've got, if any team in the world could do it, it's Barcelona because of Lionel Messi, because of Neymar, because of Luis Suarez, Andres Iniesta. They've got such quality players that it's impossible to say they won't pull off a great result. The last two scorelines they've had, they beat Sporting Gijón 6-1, and then yesterday at Camp Nou, Celta Vigo 5-0. Those two scorelines would both be good enough to get them through in the Champions League. They're 4-0 down against PSG, and it's not likely because PSG are a very good team, and unlike Sporting and Celta Vigo, they will take their chances. But yes, Barcelona can do it, and it's going to be very exciting to find out if they will.
To other stories now, and the official draw for the FIFA Beach Soccer World Cup 2017 has taken place ahead of the tournament, which will be played in the Bahamas in April. So Africa has two representatives in Senegal and Nigeria. Here are the groups. This week produced some incredible football stories. We have summed them up in our selected images of the week that stood out. So that's it from the team here in Pointe-Noire, Congo. Thanks for watching. See you same time next week. My name is Juliet Bewa.